I'm gonna show you how to get the strongest weapon in Palworld. This thing is absolutely insane, and most enemies it's just going to one-shot. With this thing, you'll be doing damage that's even better than the legendaries. There's quite a bit of RNG involved in getting this, but the weapon is absolutely busted though, and I don't think anything even comes close to as strong as this. So I'll be going over how I got it, along with some tips on helping you farm it. And then also some tips on how you can get the materials that you need to get this, because there are a lot of materials needed to make this thing. And if you don't know what you're doing, then it could definitely take a very long time. This weapon gives you the capability to basically solo pseudo-legendaries and legendaries. Some enemies do have some weird crit spots with it, and this is not the normal rocket launcher, by the way. This is a special variant of it. So while I was out here grinding jet dragons, one of them actually dropped this rocket launcher schematic 4, which is a legendary. And on top of being the rocket launcher, which is the strongest weapon in the game, it's the schematic 4 for it, which I think is the highest that they can go. So I was actually trying to catch the jet dragon and accidentally killed it, and that's when it dropped the schematic 4. And I've also caught a decent amount of them, and I never found it again, but it was 100% a jet dragon drop. And this is at -789, -321. Closest fast travel is this ruined city fortress at -561, -246. If you're struggling to kill jet dragon in the first place, what I'd recommend is to come over to this thing right here. And you're just going to use this stuff as cover to climb up and down, and it kind of breaks his AI a bit. But you can kind of have your pals fight him and shoot him while you hide within these rocks. You can do something like this. And then if your pal starts to get weak, then you can just recall it and shoot. And switch to whatever pal you want to put out next. I'd recommend only barely peeking and maybe waiting until he's not attacking to peek, because right there I just took a lot of damage. It's a very easy fight to die in. This is essentially the strat that I use to kill him though. Watch out for the tornado attack he does too, because when he does the tornado attack it can actually go over this. If he does anything else, then it can't go through the wall though. He's weak against ice, but he has a few fire attacks, so be careful using an ice pal against him. You can put an ice attack on a pal that has like dragon or fire, and that will help you. Also, getting burn or poison procced is going to do a ton of damage, because burn and poison do percent damage, and that percent damage really does a ton of damage to him. So if I get a burn or a poison, it's just going to be ticking like 0.5% of his health every time. And that really adds up in this fight since he has so much health and also has a lot of defense. Something I forgot to mention is watch out for your pals getting in this lava here. You can also recall your pals if they're about to take a big hit and then just throw them back out. But it is kind of hard to do that while you're peeking over and doing all the other stuff. If your pals go in this magma, they're just going to take damage really fast, and my Frostallion actually died during this, so it's going to be a lot harder to kill this one now. Having a few really strong pals will help. Dark isn't very good against them, but I'm kind of limited on options at this point. It's almost dead. Let's see what he ends up dropping. You can also dodge his attacks if you're good, but dodging his attacks consistently the whole fight is pretty tough. So no schematic this time, but this is where I got it. Let's check out what's actually required to make this thing. Making this thing requires an absolutely absurd stack of materials. It takes 505 Palmetal ingots, 202 polymer, 337 carbon fiber, and 40 ancient civilization parts. I'll briefly go through how to get all of these materials in bulk like that. So one of the things that you're going to need is a lot of charcoal for the carbon fiber. I'll just build a logging site for that. That should give you all the wood you need to turn into charcoal at any furnaces. Then you're going to need a lot of paldium fragments. What I did for this is I made the stone pit and then a crusher, and then you just turn the stones into paldium fragments. The polymer is going to take high quality pal oil. If you're high enough level to be making this, then you should be able to kill mammorests pretty easily. So that's what I would recommend doing. Just go around and kill some mammorests. The ice area is really good to find a lot of the mammorest crysts, and those give a ton of high quality pal oil. And this is what we need those paldium fragments for, these pal metal ingots. So the crusher will make these paldium fragments, and then I'll link a way to make an AFK ore farm so you can get a ton of ore. I just turned basically all of mine into pal metal ingots a little bit ago, so I don't have much ore right now. I'll link that AFK ore farm in the description. For the ancient civilization parts, I would just either do dungeons and finish off the bosses there, or go around the world and kill boss enemies. The killing boss enemies around the world is faster though. Now they finally have this crazy stack of materials, let's make this. And the workload is 96,000 on it. So that 96,000 is going to take a really long time. I'm not even putting a dent in it with all of these workers. But luckily I have a bunch of Anubises, so we'll see how fast they can make this go. And these guys work super fast. Even having 150 work speed, they work like 5 times faster than me or something. With 4 Anubises, it looks like it's probably still going to take 5 to 10 minutes or something like that. So the workload on this thing is insane. This thing has been taking like the entire day cycle to make, even with 4 Anubises. I don't think it's even possible to craft faster than this. Maybe if these guys had some better skills. So close, and the Anubis just left me to work by myself. This is how fast it goes when I'm just working by myself. And it's done, so let's see just how powerful this legendary rocket launcher 4 is. It has 14,000 attack. I don't have a ton of base attack myself. I have 136, so that's about 18 levels into attack. For the icing on the cake though, I'm going to get out some attack pendants and put those on. Okay, so now I have 170 attack. And let's see just how strong this thing is. And this is on normal mode with no modifiers whatsoever. Check it out on this Mammorest. Alright. So it looks like he's gonna die in 2 hits. 2 hits to take out the Mammorest boss. Let's see what happens if we hit a chickpea with it. Level 3 chickpea. I think that was like 135,000 damage. 68k. So yeah, pretty strong. If I turned up the damage modifiers, I would probably be able to just one-shot a legendary or something with this. That's it for this video. Make sure to subscribe for more Palworld content like this.